last few years since Trump was in office. So many people have stopped trusting my judgment, but I've worked so hard to understand how to make these changes. So if people aren't going to trust us, it's like you got to get that information out there, and it's not being put out there. So how do we get that in Lorain County? Because if we're having all these deaths and stuff or anything that's going on, no one has nothing to feed off of and go off of. So everyone looks at it like it's like tearing down. So, but there's lots of us guys that are like, no, it's not tearing down. There's people doing the work, but they're not seeing it. So I just wanted to kind of mention that because I'm seeing a gap so much as someone that has been here and was born here. And I'm trying to pull these resources right now for a family member that is suicidal and has addictive personalities and is independent. That's the hard part because now they're not living with me. But being in the streets and all that, you're going to need all these resources and stuff, and I'm losing that. So just for instance, in 1 week, I called the Nord Center and the police, and I'm the one that's working in these things. And all my family's waiting for it, but then ultimately, they decide to go do something else. That person that was trying to get the help. Family members end up putting it into that place.
I think we get the gist, and I think the message is, and I say to all these folks, and these are like it's preaching to the choir, because they're really trying to push that information out. And I think the thing is we just need more access.
I have a question, Shorter, though.
Yes.
When you talk about the gap, do you mean and people are pulling away from you? Do you mean because our country is becoming so polarized?
Oh, for sure.
That we're not talking to each other and we're labeling everything, that even when you want to help, they're labeling you blue or red.
Yeah, exactly. And there's information out there that is, it's like people are forgetting about the expertise out there and that trust and all of it. It's like we have these tools, but we can't use them. So, yeah.
So there's a gentleman, and then the mayor's going to wrap this up, but we have one more.
I'm going to take it. As I told him after I was done talking, I was
get some pizza.
Next comment about what the lieutenant was talking about. He said it starts at home, any kind of violence, whether it's gun violence. It starts at home at an early age. Parents need to do their job. But many times the local governments interfere with that. And they'll take the child out of the home, and the police will take the word of Child Protective Services over the parents, and it's automatic. Policemen should be trained to make a judgment call. Is the Child Protective Services really doing their job? Is this child really in danger? Because parents are afraid to discipline their children because they'll get taken out of the home. And that's because the local governments have done that. And just a quick comment on what you said about gun violence. Why are there so many guns? Well, Chicago has the toughest gun laws in the entire country, but they're the murder capital. So if you take the guns out of the legal residents' hands, who's going to have the guns? The ones that have them illegally. And then we're all in danger. Everybody. Nobody has protection.
So I know we have someone from Moms Demand Action here, and this is kind of one of their focus areas. I wanted to give you a chance to make a remark, and I was going to close this out if you don't mind. But Laura.
Right. Just to address your question about Chicago, Chicago does have some pretty strict laws. The problem is that states around Chicago they have very lax laws. So all you have to do is go 20 miles, like from Dallas to Fort Worth, to buy a gun.
Right, but who's doing that? The law-abiding citizens or the criminals?
Well, if we had stricter laws in other states, if we had universal laws, then we would be able to.
But the outlaw, the bad guys don't obey the law.
Let me make my, you said, let me talk. If we had universal background checks on every single gun sale, that would stop. In Ohio, it stops thousands of people who go to a licensed gun shop. They go to a licensed gun shop, they have to have a background check. But you can go online, you can go to your neighbor, you can go to your cousin's uncle's friend that lives next door, and buy a gun without a background check. We need universal background checks on every single gun sale.
So as we know, the topic of guns is a very difficult topic in the country. No, we haven't figured it out as a nation, and so we're not going to figure it out here in this discussion here. But I hope that you walked away knowing that there's a problem and that we need to figure out how to solve the problem. And I respect your point around the challenge with parents nowadays and needing the, gentle parent. I wasn't really gently parented, and now, I understand that challenge. We whooped our kids, etc. Now it's like it's a little bit different climate now. But also, I think there's so many factors that play into keeping a family strong and together, whether it's the jobs available. A lot of folks, are two parents are working, so the kid is left alone. Then where's the child care infrastructure for those kids to be taken care of after school? So these are all complex challenges, but it doesn't mean we should shy away from them. We should still try to lean in and try to do something to address them. But I want to thank all the panelists for being here today. Encourage you all to stay engaged. Fill out the survey, ourelyria.com, of things that you want to see happen in the city or ideas and thoughts that you have about the city. And I'll pass it back to Tim if there's anything else. And feel free to get some pizza out there, get some resources, stay connected. You have a table out there? Mom has a table? No table. Okay.
And reach out to Chief Podesta. Thank you for your chief. Our fire chief was there.
Yes, thank you, Chief.
Can we stay and take a photo of everyone before everyone leaves?
Sure. Only if the fire chief gets it.
I'm a citizen right now. I'll tell you what.
Jump in there.
Make sure you get out the
Hey guys, it's always good to see you again. Be blessed.
Thank you, everyone.
Good. All right, so Senator, do you have I'm gonna come look just in case. Okay, so there's pizza in the lobby. Just enough to. Yeah, this right here. This spot right here. Here you go. Keep the mayor in the middle.
No.
Okay.
Mayor, don't have to sound like a TV show.
Got it? Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you. This is great. Very nice. Yes, thank you. Did you? Oh,
So yeah, so I live next to your Lake there on Bellin Point.
Yes, it's okay. Yeah.